Alright, my name is Kyle Hansen, and today I'm going to be interviewing Officer John D. Pompey.
Alright, so let's start off with your name and your occupation.
My name is John D. Pompey.
Yep.
I'm a police officer.
Alright. So let's start with the first question. Do you feel like leadership plays a big role in your position and in the organization or department you work for?
Definitely. I'm a police officer, and being in that field, biggest public relations job in the world. So I feel like leadership is definitely a big thing. People hold you accountable for your actions all the time, and as a police officer, I have to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and make sure other people around me are doing what they're supposed to do as well.
Okay. Throughout the company, have you noticed if any individuals have challenged questions or directives in order to make changes or expose a flaw?
Yes, we have a lot of different policies. For instance, a couple weeks ago, there was a situation that my sergeant told me that there was a way that we were going to do it. I didn't agree, and I came up with a different plan that I felt that was better for everybody in the team. I proposed it to him, and he actually went along with it, and we actually ended up doing that instead.
Okay. Do you feel like you personally motivate and inspire others to change?
Yes, I come in contact with a lot of different people, some good, some bad. I see a lot of people going down the wrong path in life, and I feel in my job description, although it's not written, I feel that I should try to change people for the better. If they're going down the wrong path, I'm going to try to steer them in the right direction, do everything that I can do to make them a better person.
Okay. Within the organization, does the group that is guiding the change, so like your sergeants or lieutenants or anything like that, do they maintain a consistent approach?
Yeah. If there's something that we need done, they're on it, and they're always informing us about it too, where we are in the situation. A couple weeks ago, we were told that we're going to get new radio systems. They went ahead and were talking about the budget and when a timeline is that we can get our equipment, and they're on it. They tell us everything that we need to know about it.
Okay. So regarding your guys' change effort, whatever that may be in your department, do you know what the actual vision is, what they're trying to achieve?
Yeah. For one of the things, we just got body cameras for our uniforms that record everything that we do. The vision behind that is to go ahead and prove the officers that are falsely accused of sexual harassment, police brutality, anything like that, to prove that they're doing the right job. And for the officers that are not doing their job at all, and they're actually abusing their power, to go ahead and prove that they're not doing their job and that they need to get off the streets and that they need to be left. They can't be in our department anymore.
So do you feel that the vision is compelling and desirable?
Yeah, no doubt. The vision behind it is to help keep the officers that are doing the right job and to go ahead and get the officers off the street. And I firmly stand behind that policy, and I think everyone else does too.
Okay. So do you believe that your change leaders, such as your sergeants, lieutenants, and captains, do they provide timely communication about when a change is going to happen and when something needs to be done by?
Yeah.
Do they all flow?
Yeah, they're pretty good about it. If we have an issue, or if we're getting something new, or if there's a new policy that's going to be inducted into our policies and everything like that, they'll go ahead and tell us beforehand if it looks like something's going to change, or if it has. They'll go ahead and be like, "Hey, heads up! In a couple of weeks, we're going to be changing something, or we're going to be testing something different. So be aware about it."
Okay. So are you able to discuss the vision goals and strategies in routine management meetings?
I'm not in management. That's our chain of command. Every morning or night or whatever shift you're on, there's a briefing, and we go ahead and talk about everything that happened the night before. And that's when our sergeants and lieutenants are the ones who host the briefing. That's when they go ahead and tell us about everything. Policies, whether there was a robbery last night that we need to be on whereabout for a suspect that's still on the loose, whether there's a shooting suspect that we need to follow up on, or whatever it may be. We always have that, and everything that's discussed in the chain of command, they bring to our attention in our briefing. That's kind of how it works.
Okay. So within the organization, do you see recognition reward systems that inspire people you work with and build their self-confidence?
Oh yeah, especially for a lot of the young guys that are just coming out of the academy that don't have a lot of experience. When you're out there making a decision, when you're young, you don't know if it's the right or wrong decision. When a sergeant comes to you and says, "Hey, good job," that as a young person who has a couple months on or a year, you're going to be like, oh wow, all right, I did something really well, and it's going to boost your confidence, and it's going to give you a better understanding of the job.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. When you're at work, do you witness your supervisors actively trying to remove barriers that keep people from behaving according to the vision?
Yes. For instance, a couple weeks ago, there's a situation in our department where we needed to use our taser, or I felt that we should have used our taser in a different way to help stop the suspect from running. And there's a lot of foot traffic populated. If he were to run, he could have pushed people down into the street, into the ground, and could have hurt a lot of people. Before we were able to taser and just kind of end the situation. Now we're not allowed to taser unless we're in a lethal threat. So we had to actually use OC spray, and in my opinion, I feel like we put more people at risk, more contact to getting sprayed, mace, all that stuff like that, and they're more affected to it. So our sergeants, I brought to his attention, and I said, I don't agree with this, and he doesn't agree with it, and so he's going to go ahead and try to talk to our chain of command to see if we can go ahead and change that policy or rewrite it or something like that, where we can go ahead and use tasers.
Okay. So, would you say that you observe new ideas being proposed and tested?
Yeah. Like I said, along with the taser policy, it's a new policy. The body cameras are one of the biggest things that we just had implemented in our department. For all the old officers that are already on, it's kind of optional. They're grandfathered into whatever the old policy is. With all the new officers that just come out of the academy, they have to have a body camera, and that was the newest thing that we've just tested. So, yeah, there's a lot of things.
Alrighty, so that looks like it's about it. I appreciate your time and
Awesome, man. Thank you, pal. Appreciate it.